welcome back to the Clerc podcast show. We are in the wilderness. It is great to be here tonight, and we're about to have a fun time. I just want to first start by introducing the producer turned side host for the night, Dalton Bristow. Thanks for coming out.
Hey, thanks for having me tonight. You know, I got big shoes to fill here without Tylen. Hopefully I can keep up with that.
Yeah, big shoes to fill with Tylen missing. He's actually at state golf right now.
Oh, is he?
You know how he's doing?
I don't know. I mean, I was asking you. Oh, is he?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, he's at state golf. No idea how he did.
Oh,
I think I heard it was around a 90, but I don't know what the par was. Yeah.
Okay.
Good luck, Tylen.
Yeah, I don't know if he's back yet or what's going on here, but hopefully he does well, and it'll be interesting to hear back from him next week. So thank you for coming out, Dalt.
Thank you.
Good to have you, and hopefully bring some insightfulness to the podcast.
Yeah, good luck with that one. I don't know. Very insightful.
Move the mic a little bit closer and talk down on it.
Okay,
Maybe turn you up a little bit. What are you, number 4?
What are you, the producer?
Yeah, the producer doesn't run the equipment anymore, apparently.
First time on camera, he's going to be yelling at me.
Hey,
I got a mic now, too, so I'm just as powerful.
Whoa, careful
Come
here.
back at you.
Across the table, we got Mason Leopold. Now, he was on the first podcast, controversial young man over there with some controversial statements. Welcome back, Mason.
Glad to be back.
Glad to be back, and you're not going to be getting us in trouble again, are you?
Of course not.
Go watch episode 1 if you want to know what we're talking about.
5 hours after this posted, I bet Mason gets arrested.
Whoa.
Jeez.
And just to let everyone who's listening know, we are actually out in the middle of nowhere underneath a bridge. And we got a little bit of a fire going on here. And the theme tonight is kind of like campfire stories, the mythological creatures all around us, and a little bit of everything. Before we get into that, I need to introduce the reoccurring side host / guest, Damon Weinandt. Thank you for coming out.
Thank you, Ethan. It's official now. I've been back. This is my third time. I'm excited to be here with all of you, but especially Dalton in front of the camera here.
Yeah,
so.
It's
really
exciting
excited.
stuff.
Yeah.
It's exciting stuff.
Let me get a stop pose here quick.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh.
Okay.
Probably should put me across the table from.
Smile a little bit. Pose.
Well, like I said, we are out here in the wilderness, and we're going to be talking about some mythological creatures, some stories around the area, some creatures that are popular in the United States. But before we do that, please share, like, comment, subscribe, all the above, just to get people to know about the podcast, because we're out here every week and we're trying to tell stories. We're trying to get input from people, and we're trying to just meet new people, get new people on here, and have a good time. So if you know anybody that wants to be on, you know, Mason, if you know anybody that wants to be on, get him out here.
Will do.
He's going to think about it now. I know he's got a couple girls that might want to come out.
Probably be here in 15 minutes. Get your phone out there.
Yeah.
I thought you had like some roommate guy that you wanted to bring on here sometime.
What?
Yeah, you're planning on a roommate.
No way, we get Hazer out here.
There you go.
You think Hazer come on?
Probably not, no.
Oh. Well, anyway, so make sure you share, like, comment, subscribe, retweet, and we will be giving a random person, we're going to pick a drawing, and we're going to be giving a random person something next week. I'm not sure what that is. Me and Dalton will figure it out this week.
Oh, yeah.
For next week. So if you share, comment, retweet, subscribe, you can enter to win something. So that's the whole intro right there for tonight's show. Like I said, we're going to be talking about stories around the fire, popular mythological creatures and stuff like that. So let's start it off with talking about a little bit of Bigfoot action. What do you think about that, Damon? Some Bigfoot.
What do I think about Bigfoot? What was that, the third one? We talked about space aliens and Bigfoot.
We were kind of brought up Bigfoot a little bit, but we just touched on it. We didn't actually get too much into it. So
well, I don't know if we're going to have a debate here, but I went on record that night saying I did not believe in Bigfoot for the fact. Oh my gosh! So
you went across the river.
For the fact that the system just wouldn't support them, like they'd have to forage to get food, they'd have to eat so much food, you have to reproduce, just the way that it all fell down into place. Now, I'm all for creativity. Colin's back here, and he brought up a good point how they bring in good stories when we were on that one, the third one. And
yeah.
I think it's good to have stories and an imagination, but I just can't get behind the Bigfoot one. And now I should have brought my dad out, I guess, because he does believe in Bigfoot.
Really?
No, yeah. What is or why does he think Bigfoot's real? Where does he get that from?
Oh, it's probably the sense of mystery, the wanting to explore. I mean, we like to explore and
imagination.
Stuff. Imagination.
Part of
yeah, walking through the woods. I mean, it'd be great, like if. I mean, you could imagine a Bigfoot running through there, like right where we're here. And
yeah, you usually see a lot of monkeys, but no Bigfoot.
A lot of monkeys. That's you. That's just you guys.
What do you think, Mason? What's your opinion on Bigfoot? Real or fake?
I don't really think he's real, no.
Oh, it's a he?
I'd always watch this like show
Sexist.
growing up,
Just
Finding
assume his
Bigfoot.
gender.
Has anyone ever seen that?
Yeah, Finding Bigfoot.
Finding Bigfoot.
Oh,
yeah.
It's really cheesy. And like they go to like these towns where they get like stories from the locals.
Yeah. Hey, we'll watch a little bit of that in a little bit. I got a couple episodes on here we can check out where they interview a couple people who supposedly ran into Bigfoot.
It's like, how do they know you can knock a stick on wood?
Yeah.
Who told them that one? Like,
Yeah. And there's the original footage. We'll bring that up in a little bit too. But have you seen the original? It's kind of like the most well-known Bigfoot footage. of all
Oh, it's
time.
like by the creek or whatever.
Yeah,
I've
it's
seen
kind
that
of
one,
like
yeah.
some guys were filming a documentary or some little film project, and they turned the camera over because some guy saw something, and you see him walking. Maybe we just pull it up right now.
Talk about the Patterson Gimlin footage.
Patterson Gimlin footage is the name
It
of
just
it.
sounds really set up, doesn't it? They're
I mean,
filming a documentary
right.
and then like they zoom up.
It kind of looks like a
distance.
guy in a monkey suit, but it's a super creepy video. I think it was shot in the 70s. I'm not sure on the exact date. We can pull that up and watch it right now, and kind of that'll be a good starting point for the whole Bigfoot discussion.
1967.
1967.
Oh,
So
yeah.
a film camera here, of course. And we can take a look at this. Damon,
Oh,
can you see that? All
yeah,
right.
it was
You
a
might have
female.
to hit play for me, Ethan.
It was
I
a
don't know if
female. I
grab
can hit
that.
play for you. There we go. All right, Patterson Gimlin, 16 millimeter footage. Okay, so it starts off very shaky. There's no audio with this, so we can kind of do a voiceover, what we're seeing. There's no audio for this video, Dalton. So it's just a shaky film camera in the beginning here.
My question is, why is it so shaky?
Well, because the guy was filming something else, and he's running right now.
You didn't expect to see Bigfoot.
No, and then they kind of stabilized it. You could see on the outside, but there he is right there. He turns, looks at the camera. I think they slow it down.
Right there.
Famous freeze
Bigfoot's
frame.
looking back at it. Okay.
Now, when I was watching this earlier, I kind of got the shivers when they zoom in and they
Yeah.
just watch this. It's really creepy when he looks at the camera. I don't know if I think they zoom in here if I remember right. Obviously, the footage is stabilized and like they brought the quality up a little bit because it's so old. But yeah, so he's running because he wasn't planning on filming this, running right now, and then apparently he gets to a good spot and then gets right there. He's walking.
Then they start a campfire, sit around it, and tell some stories.
That's the whole goal. I think they slow it down, so you see him right there. That is a large man, though. Look at he turns and looks right at the camera.
I wonder like how tall he would be, like if they like measured it out.
I think they measured it out like how
Here's
long it'd be. It'd be like 6. I don't know. I don't
8 feet
remember.
or 7 or 8 feet, I'm
Really?
pretty sure. Yeah, there's a really
So-
close. Look at this. Watch right when he turns and looks at the camera. This is the spookiest part to me. Right when he turns, right there.
Oh, are you okay, Ethan? Are you okay?
I'm
Hold his
afraid
hand,
right now.
please,
Yeah.
Damon.
Can you hold my
Hold his
hand? I'm really afraid.
His leg's shaking. I can see it under the
I don't
table.
know, that's just really.
I could see a conspiracy around this whole thing. Fake. The
know.
guys like had their buddy come out there and they made a lot of money off of it. You know,
Did they?
all these years people are still talking about it. People still wanna get into it. But I'm just wondering. I don't know that
Well,
costume and everything.
That's like the positive part of it, I guess, because like when you had Adrian on here, the ghost hunter, he
Yeah.
made a statement that was like, if you have enough people believing you'll see a ghost. Well, it's the same thing. If anything, even if that ghost isn't there, if that Bigfoot's not there, if enough people are believing in it, it's like all of a sudden kind of materializing. And
Oh yeah.
I don't know a whole lot of background about the Bigfoot, but also I know that a couple guys who did end up admitting it was a hoax, I think started it in the late 50s.
Oh, really?
And that's what's curious, because before the 50s you never heard anything about Bigfoot, and then all of a sudden here's Bigfoot. Well, now you see him everywhere.
Right, like how did he just pop up?
Right.
Yeah.
Like that we've been settled in this land for how long, and it just so happens in the 1950s.
He
this
just
Bigfoot-
He just mutated in the past years.
No, because there's a video that we'll watch in a little bit where the guy says that his family has documented sightings of Bigfoot from the 1700s, the late 1700s.
Really?
You know, and there's no proof. I never
oh.
saw the proof.
Yeah.
But you know, if his family, and it's a weird family too. They all, I mean, the grandpa saw Bigfoot, the daughter saw Bigfoot, and the granddaughter saw Bigfoot.
So how come like there's never been someone that's like actually like shot and killed Bigfoot?
But here's the thing: there
Like-
have been people who shot people dressed up like Bigfoot. Have you heard of their stories?
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, there's
Really?
news articles. Yeah, I forgot to find some, but there are news articles where people dress up as Bigfoot and go try to scare people. They end up getting killed because they're dressed up like Bigfoot.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's happened before. I know back in like the 80s and 90s, people would do that a lot. They would dress up like Bigfoot, go out in the woods, and then end
Oh yeah,
up.
here in town, a little local story, a little local lore.
Oh, here we go.
Back in, I don't know, it was probably late 80s, 90s, but my dad would go out to parties at Tony Thompson's, and he told me a story about how he's got a drive that goes out there, and they were driving out there, and a guy went across the road wearing a Bigfoot costume, and everyone freaked out.
No way.
Yeah, so it's...
And part of me wants to, because you know we're big pranksters and everything. Get out there.
that's way too dangerous.
Yeah,
so
Oh
way
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you get
Yeah.
killed. Oh yeah. You got to be
Yeah.
really careful. But I'm saying if we just did it to somebody we knew, and we knew they didn't have a gun, you know, that could be kind of funny. Dalt's like, I don't know
don't
about
know.
that.
I'm guessing there's a lot of people sitting at home that disagree with us, and maybe they'll have some comments because if you're tuning into a podcast, you might be believing in Bigfoot. So
Well, it's hard to find people who believe in Bigfoot. I mean, it's not like ghosts where 51% or whatever. It was like a high number of people believe in them. Bigfoot's like a very low number.
Is it?
Yeah, well, there's not. I mean, you see these videos and all the videos and pictures. The weird thing to me is people have a lot of ghost pictures and all. Like Adrian brought in some really good stuff, scratches and actual photos and everything, or what he thought were. But there are, we can look at some here. Every picture you see of Bigfoot is like covered by something blurry, pixelated, like it doesn't.
Shaky.
Yeah.
The camera's shaky.
We're getting the ashes here from the fire. This is.
yeah, it's real, guys.
It's a real wilderness out here. So let's take a couple. We have like 15 pictures here. First one here. And these are all Bigfoot pictures, apparently. So there you go. Right away, blocked. His face is blocked by leaves or whatever.
Are
and
these
kind
like
of
trail
blurry.
cams, you think?
Yeah, trail. Some of these are trail cams. I don't know if this one was. It doesn't look like a trail cam to me. Keep going, Dalt. Or I can just go through them
That'd
here.
be great, yeah.
So here, is this a touchscreen? Oh, it is. Another one. That looks like a monkey to me. I mean, I think. Hey, I think
The glare is like-
Bigfoot is a. Is that what Bigfoot is supposed to be?
It's
A
a
giant
giant
monkey?
ape.
A giant ape?
Yeah.
So that that just looks like a monkey out in the wilderness. I
Bad
don't know.
glare.
I don't know.
Oh,
Can
you
you
got
see
the
that
bad
one?
spot up there.
Can you see that one, Mason?
Oh yeah, that's definitely like a monkey.
It looks like
for
a monkey.
sure.
A lot of these do. Let's go to the next one here. Again, I might have to zoom out. I don't know about this one. It looks like a guy wearing.
like a black.
Yeah.
That just looks like a robe, doesn't it? Like
Yeah.
Each picture looks so different.
Yeah, and that's the thing. These, I don't know where all the sightings were. And this is a question I think I want to ask all you guys. Do you think there's one Bigfoot or an entire colony of Bigfoot? Feet. Is that big feet or big?
Bigfoot.
What's
I mean,
the plural?
we don't
I
even know if
think it's
Bigfoot's real or not.
Let's say
so.
Sasquatch. Sasquatches?
There you go.
Sasquatches?
Well, there'd have to be families, and then you'd have to meet other families so you could keep a good
Hey,
bloodline.
What are those called that live in like the Arctic supposedly, like Yetis?
Oh, yeah.
Yeti.
those
Yetis?
Yeah.
the white-
Yeti
the
is
white
a
ones.
Bigfoot that evolved.
Just like a snow ape is what it would be like.
The wilderness.
Lives in like the Himalayas.
It's a demon.
Oh,
A
yeah,
demon.
they're in the
A demon.
Himalayas.
So I think this one, I'm going to say fake on that picture right there. Not real. I didn't know about this one.
Yeah, I don't
Hey,
know.
that's
like the clearest picture we've got so far.
He just
That's
sell
the
his
Jack
house?
Link.
What is it?
Jack
Is he a real estate agent?
Yeah, I think so. He rented out that cave and then he ended up selling it. So great for him. This is the Patterson Gimlin footage, close up.
Zoom in on the face a little bit.
Enhanced
Yeah.
image. That's creepy. To me, that's creepy.
It almost looks like some guy's like face right here, and then like something's covering
And
it.
that, when I was doing research
You know what
on
I mean?
this, they call it the white face Bigfoot. That's what the people who are called that dress up
Yeah.
like Bigfoot. The white face, but if monkeys have white faces, don't they?
Well,
They're,
I mean, some of them, you know.
yeah, but I'm just saying that's the theory. The white face
Oh.
Bigfoot is the guys that are dressing up. But look at that thing.
It just looks a lot like a gorilla. You know what I mean?
But hey,
Crazy,
they
isn't
don't.
it,
Hey,
Mason?
they
Wow.
don't walk like that. That's walking like a
They
human.
look like that, don't they? Or like
Doesn't that look like it's walking like a human?
They did a good job probably watching a video how something would walk and
Yeah.
swing and go.
And
But
there's
the thing
people-
is, it looks really tall. Like,
Oh,
and
that's
You
huge.
said they measured it out.
Yeah.
They did like a comparison. It was like 7 or 8 feet tall. It was huge.
I mean, unless they found like a Yao Ming to do this, I don't know.
Yao
like
Ming?
if it really be possible.
I mean, I will give them this. It's a convincing costume. It's a very convincing costume.
Oh yeah.
It's
Because-
like, it's like the movie theater costume. They got two kids on each other's shoulders.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the two kids.
Getting
So
it
that's
for
the
free.
original here. I might have to zoom out a little bit more. No, that's not all of them for sure.
Okay.
I don't know why it's not letting me.
You're struggling pretty hard.
I am here. I gotta zoom,
Technology's a tough one.
zoom. It's not letting me. It's all the way zoomed out. Why can't I go? Whoa.
You sure that's not the last picture?
No, there's more. I know I have more on here.
He knows that.
But let me go back this way.
All right.
It's frozen up. Maybe you can exit out back to the file menu.
Let's see what I can do.
So that footage, what I was saying before is, it's weird to me that there's a lot of people that have ghost pictures and everything, and they have quality photos or whatever. But then when Bigfoot, they're all like very, it seems like they're all set up to be that point where they're fake.
And now that we've had cell phones in our pockets that can take high quality, oh my gosh.
Yeah. All right, now listen to this. We're gonna talk about this one later too. This is a Florida.
Chupacabra?
It's called the skunk ape.
Oh, those are skunk apes were real. I mean,
Are skunk apes real?
well, I mean, I think something like one. I don't know.
That's the Florida version of.
I
like
don't
the,
know. I
like-
think it's pretty fake.
Hey, I don't know about that though. That looks pretty scary to me.
Also, there's not really like an ape. It's like a Bigfoot type thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a myth, kind of like the
Okay,
Chupacabra or like
There
Bigfoot
is
or the
something I
Yeti.
do believe in though.
What do you believe?
I kind of do believe in the Chupacabra.
We're gonna talk about that. We have videos.
We are? Okay.
Yep,
Yeah,
Chupacabra.
that video I was
Because they're
talking
like hyenas,
That
right?
video is like really clear, is it not?
In the video, they actually a guy captured one.
Yeah.
He killed one, and
Yep.
it's like it has human
They-
hands, and it's super scary.
And they brought it to like a taxidermist and stuff, and like it's preserved, right?
To me, though, this picture looks like a real thing, whatever that is. A skunk ape or a Bigfoot. That looks pretty real. That doesn't look like a set-up
It
picture.
has like a dog face to it, doesn't it?
I don't know. But the red eyes, that looks a little bit added in, and the fangs and everything. Maybe it is a fake picture. I don't know. Another version, enhanced.
Looks like it's got some like
That definitely looks like an ape face.
Like-
To me,
yeah, I don't know.
what do you think, Dal?
I don't know. I can't really
Look-
get a good view at it. 'cause
Yeah, oh yeah.
Go to its like chest. It's like
What about it?
I mean,
Fanny pack was riding up on
yeah,
it.
Yeah.
I don't know, like
It's got something in there. Okay, next one. Now here's more of these crappy pictures. Like this one, I think we looked at already,
That
but
guy's sad. The Sasquatch on the left is Bigfoot sad.
I don't know what's going
Looks
on.
like a ghillie suit, like the
Oh, ghillie suit.
like the
yeah.
ones you wear.
Yep, and people were wearing ghillie suits and getting shot too.
Really?
Yeah,
I
because
bet.
people were like, these people down south or whatever going nuts. We gotta kick the Bigfoot. Get out here, their guns.
Yeah.
Start shooting anybody wearing a ghillie suit. Here's the skunk ape again, a different picture. That's a big mother.
doesn't that just look like-
Hold on a minute. This almost looks like something from a Disney ride.
Where's
Now
it
that I
from?
think
yeah, doesn't
about
that look really edited? That photo,
before I was kind of like, this looks real.
Yeah,
now I'm. It
like the
looks
whole
like,
lighting and everything.
I
just
take it
looks
like
so
I thought
fake.
Skunk Ape was like a real gorilla type
Yeah.
thing,
No.
not like a made up thing.
Where'd you come up with skunk ape at?
No, that's an actual thing. There's a
Oh.
list of 50 states, 50 mythological creatures per state. This is the Florida version of
What's the
Bigfoot.
Minnesota one?
skunk
You know?
ape.
It's called Hedwig.
Oh.
Hedwig. Have
Just
you ever
like
heard of
Paul
that?
Bunyan.
It's a weird looking ogre type little midget demon. It's a midget
Oh, I
demon
think I
ogre.
have heard of
hey, it
that
has
one.
little horns sticking out.
Okay,
You
and
know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about, and then there's one in Wisconsin, Rylander,
Yeah,
called
yep.
the Hodag.
What about the
We went
one?
through there, and
Yep.
it's good for tourism.
There's
Yeah,
one in
exactly.
like Pennsylvania. It's like that big flying like
Mothman.
Mothman. Yes.
Mothman. I don't know if that's Pennsylvania or Maine. I think it might be Maine.
It's on the East Coast. I know that for sure.
It's creepy.
Out east.
Whatever it is. Another one here.
That's a ghillie suit.
Oh, that's a ghillie suit for sure.
Look at the face though.
Looks like somebody drew that picture. I don't even know
I mean,
about that.
yeah.
Heavily edited picture. I don't know about that one.
Should be on Instagram.
That's a gorilla.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a gorilla.
I don't know. This is Bigfoot photos. I found. Hey, I looked up 15 of the most convincing Bigfoot photos. This is not one of them on there.
He's up in a tree, like with the eagles.
Hey, he's got his own nest
Looks
up
like
there.
he's nesting.
It looks like a statue or something.
This
Like,
almost
it's
looks
just
like-
off in the distance.
It's even got a silver back.
Silverback gorillas are real.
Yep.
I don't know
Are you
about
sure?
that, Damon.
I've got
I
a
don't know. I've never
conspiracy
seen
theory.
Let me see. I think that might be the last one.
Are you sure, Ethan?
That one's the most convincing to me, or the Jack Link's beef jerky.
That one was real.
That one was real
That
to
one-
me.
We should have
That
brought.
was the clearest picture.
We should have brought jerky here to lure one in.
Hey, we could try it. We could try it. Well, to kind of talk about things that have happened around here, me and Mason could kind of tell a story about the Wilder Demon. The Wilder Demon.
Where's your hat at, Ethan?
That's what we'll give away next week. If you retweet, share, comment, like, subscribe, we are going to pick a random person that will get a Wilder Demon's hat. So I know it's a
They're
big,
pretty sweet.
pretty sweet actually.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not wearing mine tonight. I got my Bass Pro Shops hat on.
It's actually my favorite team from Wilder, the Wilder Demons.
Wilder Demons. But anyway, let me and Mason tell this story quick. So pretty much what happened is we're coming back from Worthington.
Yep.
And I think we were FaceTiming somebody or talking to some.
While driving?
Oh yeah, a friend.
We were talking to some friend. Mason
yeah.
was talking to this girl, whatever, and I'm like trying to see, look over and talk too. And
I can't remember why I FaceTimed. It was like to ask her a question or something.
yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, and I look over, and all of a sudden, holy smokes, he's trying to catch a Wilder Demon over here. Anyway, out of nowhere, boom, the whole car lifts up, and I'm like, what the heck? Hey, and it
While
like,
you're driving?
Hey, while we're driving, it like took my car off the ground
Yeah.
and like turned us kind of at an angle. I'm like, I thought we blew a tire because it lifted
what I thought too,
lifted the
right.
entire car off the ground. So I'm like, what the heck? And I will admit though, right before we
Hey, there's gas coming.
is it coming over
Coming
here?
towards the canister. You might want to move that.
Colin's got it. Don't worry about it.
Hey, so
explosion.
right before, listen to this. Right before we hit this thing, I tell Mason, I saw something huge fly above my
Yeah.
car. A
You're like,
giant
what was
winged
that? You're like,
creature.
we look
Hey,
up. I
this
see like
is-
the.
Yeah. Hey, this is before we hit the thing. Some giant thing with wings, and I didn't know what it was. And I told Mason, look up. And by the time he looked up, I'm pretty sure it was gone. You didn't see
I
it.
saw like probably like the last bit of its like wings.
Were you on 60 or gravel?
We were on 60.
I was 60.
Yeah, coming back from Worthington. And then we hit the thing. Lifted the car up, and I'm like, holy cow. So we pull over, and we're going about 74. Typical Worthington back to Windom speed, without getting pulled over by the state trooper.
About 9 over.
So we get out of the car, and my front panel of my car is ripped off. And there's scratches on the side, and there's a big dent. And I have no idea.
You're forgetting like the biggest part too. There was like these gray hairs
Oh,
like
yeah.
all in like the
Did you
fender.
keep them?
We kept them. I have
We
them
did.
somewhere, and I will post a picture on the Ethan Clerc Show Facebook page when I find it. But I took hairs off the front. Weirdest hair I've ever seen. It's not dog hair.
It was
definitely
like
not deer
an
hair.
old man's scraggly beard.
You could stretch
You
it.
check the ditches, right?
Hey, listen,
my
to this. Listen to this. We get out of the car, and I'm like, first of all, thinking, how am I going to get my front panel back on? Second of all, I'm like, we got to walk the ditches and see what this thing was. So we walk back. We walked a long way. We walked until, you could just see my car's taillights. Nothing. Didn't see anything. And I swear to God, as we're walking back, Mason looks up and sees the thing
Yes.
flying away, whatever it was. And then
It was huge.
It was huge.
Like the wingspan was.
Hey,
Yeah.
it was massive. Not an owl, bigger than a bald eagle. It was huge. And I don't know what it was, and it lifted my car off the ground and dented it and
Oh,
ripped my
wow.
front panel
Oh,
off.
wow.
Hey,
I
Scratches
never
on the
heard that story.
sides,
yeah.
hair.
So then it gets weirder, though. It gets weirder. So I don't know where we are. It's like a couple weeks later, maybe not even a couple weeks later, like a week later. We're not even telling anybody this story. Tori, Colin's girlfriend, brings up how she saw some weird-looking bat creature on the side of the road eating something. And hey, it was bigger than she said the same thing. Bigger than a bald eagle. It was huge.
Yeah.
Hey, on the side of the road in Wilder,
Really?
where we hit the son of a gun.
Was it a vulture?
Huh? Bigger
That's
than
what I
that.
was gonna say.
Huge. It was big.
Because bald eagles are bigger than vultures.
Hey,
I'm
this thing was
sure.
about 25 feet above my car, and I could see the wingspan.
Yeah, like
The only thing I can compare it to, and you're gonna laugh, is have you seen the movie Jeepers Creepers?
Maybe.
Who's the creeper? Hey,
kinda
you know
remember.
what I'm talking about.
I think I know what you're
Because we
talking
made
about.
fun of
There's
it.
like a
yeah.
fire ant on my
hey.
neck.
Hey, huh?
There's like a fire ant on my neck.
Damon,
Oh my gosh.
You ever been through Wilder? You know they got that yellow sign and it says bump.
Yeah, it's.
You ever wonder if Ethan maybe?
No,
No, 'cause that's
Hey,
on the, that's
hey,
on the
that's-
side
hey, no,
going
hey,
to
that's going
Worthington.
to Worthington.
We were on our way
There is
back.
no bump sign on the way back.
What car was
Okay.
it, Ethan?
It was his Prism. It's about
Hey.
3 pounds to lift
Hey,
up.
I forgot that when we drove to Worthington, that ripped my front panel
Full of
off.
shock.
Guess I don't know.
So
I
what's the
wasn't
name?
there.
What's the
Exactly.
name of this legendary creature?
This is the Wilder Demon.
The Wilder Demon.
That's what we called it, and I don't know. I'm telling you, and I will show you the hair. Weirdest thing I've ever seen. I want to get a sample on that hair.
It's goofy.
Hey, because
It's really
we know what we
goofy.
saw, and there was nothing in the
Yeah,
ditch.
like I'm not even lying.
The only thing we found were bones and like teeth. We
Oh.
found bones and teeth.
Colin, did you believe your girlfriend at the time? Was it real? Is this demon real? Did you believe your girlfriend?
When Tori said that
Hey,
she
where
saw
was
the thing-
Tori at though? Like,
Hey, and we never told Tori the story
No,
until
okay,
after.
okay.
Hey, so this wasn't something like, oh yeah, I saw it.
then 2 weeks later she says she sees it.
What, Colin? No, she wouldn't make that up anyway. But that's what I'm saying. She just told us, without even us saying anything. I'm like, no way.
Yeah,
There's a Wilder
It
demon.
was weird.
That's an intriguing story.
It was
It is.
weird.
And hey,
Because
this
we
is
didn't
what
tell her at all. Like,
No, we never told her.
No.
I'm saying we go out there and hunt the son of a
Yep.
gun. I'm thinking we bait it in
Yeah, baited in.
with my car. It's attracted to the noise.
You still have that car?
I do.
Oh yeah, that's your car.
I drove it here.
Yeah.
the
Yeah, I
famous,
know that.
the famous Ethan Clerc mobile, we'll call it.
is that the name?
That's the name. The famous
Okay.
Ethan
Really?
Clerc mobile. Yep. Yep.
Were you
and,
guys eating anything? Like, was it attracted to the smell?
No, we were literally.
know.
I didn't even look at the road. It
Yeah.
flew down and it went underneath my front my front driver's side tire, and I thought we blew a
So
tire out.
you think that thing like hit your car going that hard and that fast, and it's still alive out
Hey,
there?
well, how come we couldn't find anything in the ditch?
Hey, and we hit something like.
Oh, we definitely
hit something.
definitely hit something.
The scratches, the popped out fender, the
yeah.
hair. I mean,
yeah,
like.
yeah. What else do you think it was?
I guess I have no idea.
Have you
We,
seen
we
the
didn't
hair?
hit like
I
a
need a better
road sign.
description.
Have
No,
you
that
seen the
doesn't-
hair?
I think you showed me at one point. Yeah.
Well, Dalton, you made a lot of trips between Windom and Worthington.
Yeah, and you
right?
never
You've
saw
never-
this thing.
I never saw a single
Well,
thing.
the
out there.
time though. It
Yeah.
was,
Wait,
it
what
was
time?
Really
Hey,
late.
this is the thing. We were coming back at about 12:30 at night. It's creepy.
I think you have to recreate all the conditions. Get your car over there. Go your 74.
Yep.
Get on that phone and get those texts going.
Yep. Get the FaceTime going.
Yeah.
And there we go. We'll get it going.
Yeah, I'd be curious if anyone else has had a run-in with this demon.
Maybe the
comment or something.
Hey, I really want to put something on What's Up in Windom, but everyone would get all riled up.
Oh, everyone would get mad.
We need the sheriff out there.
Yeah, after you post this, like a bunch of people come up to you and they're like, "Oh yeah, I've seen that out there in Wilder."
Well, that demon knocked our power out yesterday.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Full power outage in Windom. Oh, that was nuts.
I paid my bills.
Well, I know there's been a lot of like stories around here, and I know that there might be some for you too, because you went to high school in Windom, right, Damon?
That's correct.
So you would know a lot of like the creepy lore around here. We know a little bit.
You know, I was really racking my brain like the lore. I mean, we know a lot of like people that were real that were creepy. Like me,
yeah.
There'd be so much lore, but
or like creepy stuff going on at like Pat's Grove or Sleepy Hollow.
I had
Sleepy Hollow's a big one.
Yeah.
Sleepy Hollow. Mary Jane's grave. You know, that's the glowing grave. You don't want to. You don't want to
go. Where's
that
at?
That's old
Loon Lake
Jackson,
Cemetery.
Loon Lake, yeah.
Oh, is it?
We've been out there multiple. We just put a video on the bonus channel where we explored Loon Lake Cemetery, so go check that out.
That gravestone was still out there at that time, and the light would catch and it would glow, and that's for real.
And there's another one. The glowing grave is out. I don't remember what highway that is. Toward the it's not
creepy.
It's not that one. It's a different one.
Yep. Oh yeah. That one's still there. That's like a ground one.
Yep.
But it was that one. That one you didn't want to run and jump over 3 times.
I thought that was Mary Jane's grave.
Oh, was that Mary?
Maybe.
That one. Okay, so I'm mixing the two up. So that was Mary Jane's, and then the glowing grave was one.
And
too,
Mary Jane, for people that don't know, it's like we said, the Loon Lake Cemetery. But Megadeth, the very famous metal band, wrote a song about that actual cemetery and that gravesite because. Now his name, I'm drawing a blank. I can't think. David Ellefson.
They're from Jackson.
He's
right?
from Jackson.
Yeah.
David Ellefson is. Well, not the whole
band. Is it called Megadeth?
Megadeth. Yep. And they made a song. Everyone should look it up. Mary Jane, and they're talking about the Loon Lake Cemetery and Mary Jane's grave.
So that was cool because when they opened that coffee shop, I had a little 45 Mary Jane 45 Megadeth album.
Oh, really?
And I brought it. Yeah, and I brought it there. It has a tombstone on it, and I held it up, and he's like, "There it is."
No way.
Yeah, and then I had him sign it, of course.
And they took that out. They took the what's it called? They took the grave out of there.
Someone stole it. And
Multiple times.
Dropped it on someone's lawn.
Yeah.
So now it's in the Historical Society. Yeah.
In Lakefield?
It's a very sketchy.
It's in Lakefield.
So what's the backstory behind Mary Jane? Like, what happened?
The
She's a
backstory
witch.
is they believe she was a witch. She was young and she passed away. But doing research and such, they trailed her back that it's not really probably a true story. That she died of like.
Wait, it's not a real story?
Of like cholera or something. Like they've
Really?
their family tree. So I mean, it's probably up for debate, but it's one of those things where with what you can look up and try to disprove things, people have disproved it. So
what year did she die? Like,
it's like 1700s.
Yeah,
wasn't
must
it?
have been
really?
Yeah, sometime.
Because if you go out there, it says the early settlers of Jackson County or something, or something like that.
Now that place probably is haunted because it's overgrown. No one takes care of it. You wouldn't know it's a grave. People have decimated the tombstones.
When we went out there,
I don't really believe in like the
30 bodies.
paranormal stuff, like ghosts, and I don't really believe in that stuff.
I mean, there can definitely. What I do think, and what some of the things I've believe have changed recently, because I believe like the negative energy and all that, like at these places, like kind of like Damon was saying that. This place has been overgrown, forgotten, and there could definitely be some really creepy negative energy out there. That if you mess around out there. I could see something actually happening to you.
See, I don't think that's. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree or believe to an extent, but there's a lot of when it gets commercial or you're like making money off it or like looking at stuff. It's tough to do. I mean, because the park it might be haunted. I sometimes feel like they're not at the bark so much, so I've never really felt haunted at the bark, but I have felt like there's been entities around maybe at other places.
That's the weird thing, yeah. Like when Adrian came, he's telling about the bark and how it's one of the most haunted places in town, and then I told him that I've never seen anything. Got a car coming over the bridge. I told him I'd never seen it or felt anything, or we've never heard anything like that. There was only one experience at the bark where I've actually seen something.
I've had one experience too, which
at
I'll
the bark
tell later. No, not at the bark. At
you've had an experience.
I'll tell later.
When we were at the bark, we were filming Ghostbusters way back in the day. That was like Clay Elnis. It was way back. That was like probably 2012 or 13 maybe. And we're filming Ghostbusters. And we're way down at the end of the hall. Colin's got slime all over his face, and we're all kneeling down by him. And we all, I don't know why we all turned at the same time, but we all looked, and we're down in the ECFE. Yeah. We all turn, look all the way down the main hall at the end, kind of at the end of the main hallway. We see a black figure walk by, and we're the only ones in the building. So, of course, we sprint all the way down there, and we're looking around. We look around the entire building. Nobody. That's the only thing I can say. And it could have been a janitor. It could have been Greg could have been stopping by. I have no idea. Yeah. That's the only experience.
Swarm of bats.
It was definitely a guy walking by. And for all we know, it could have been our imagination. But the thing is, we all saw it at the same time. So that's what makes it kind of hard for me to believe. Well, we're going to take a little bit of a break here, and we will come back with a lot more stories and a lot more wilderness out here. And hopefully the fire will still be going good. I know Colin's been pouring gas on it. So we'll be right back after this short break.
I like living in Windom because of all the opportunities that you have here with businesses, events, the people, the places, the small town living. There's plenty of events to go to. We have Riverfest, the county fair, ice cream socials.
My family loves spending time together on the water, whether it's kayaking down the Des Moines River or spend plenty of time out at Cottonwood Lake fishing.
Well, of course, one of the favorite childhood memories is Riverfest for sure, growing up and centering that around downtown and just being downtown, running into people that you don't see very often who come back. That's definitely one of my favorites.
Sporting events in our community is huge. You get to meet people from all over.
Some of the greatest things about Windom are just the different facilities and activities that we have. I like to go golfing. I'm able to do that easily every day. Because of the size of our community and our golf course, I can go before school starts and still make it to school on time.
Creativity that is afforded to you in a small town. You can be creative wherever the size of the town you are, just depending on who you know.
That's the nice thing about our community of 4,000 to 5,000 people is that there's plenty of opportunities and things to do, and it's been a fantastic place to stay and now raise my own 3 kids.
High-speed internet in Windom is great. There's fiber to my home and my business.
North Windom Industrial Park, we're expanding. The south 80 acres is now available, so there's close to 100 acres available. Windom is a great place to live, right on Highway 60. So we have that connectivity to national shipping networks, and it's a great place to live.
Welcome back to the Clerc podcast show. We are out here in the wilderness by a campfire under a bridge out in the middle of nowhere, enjoying ourselves. We got birds chirping, fish in the river.
Perfect evening.
Perfect evening. Maybe Bigfoot out in the woods. Careful, Damon.
I know.
Before we get going, I have to announce here. Dalton, you want to hold that for me?
Sure.
I have to announce the winner of the t-shirt here. Let me open this up. The winner of the t-shirt, Kathy Martinson of Windom, Minnesota.
Woohoo!
Congratulations, you win a Hustle t-shirt from last week's guest, Chant. So very cool. It's lime green, and I'll get that to you. So thank you very much, Kathy, for sharing, retweeting. And to everybody else, make sure you like, comment, share, retweet, subscribe, because we are going to be giving away a Wilder Demons hat.
Is that the Daily Hustle merch?
Daily Hustle merch from Chant, and that is very cool. So if you want to get some of that, I know Chant has a store open now. We said we'd give him a little shout out for that. So you can go on chantsdailyhustle.com and you can check out the summer collection. Well, Mason said that he had a story here because we're talking about mythological creatures, ghosts. We were talking about Bigfoot before. So what's your story, kind of, Mason?
So my one and only run-in with, I guess,
The police.
spiritual and like ghost things would be, I can't remember how old I was. I was probably 8 or 9, maybe a little bit younger than that. But it was a family friend of ours. He had a wedding.
A wedding?
Yep. And so, like, you know, like, before a wedding, you go out and take pictures with the brides and the groomsmen,
There's
whatever.
multiple brides?
Or not the brides, the...
Take a picture of the bride and the groom?
You
the
don't know what
groomsmen
religion
and
we're
the...
talking about here.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, there's like a old creepy house off in the distance, but nobody like went there because they were all taking pictures like off in the distance in the trees and stuff.
Yep.
Well, curious me at the time, you know, I was really young, whatever. I saw a creepy old house, so I just walked towards it. I go inside.
Wait, hold on a minute. Where were you for this?
I can't remember it.
Was it in Minnesota?
It was in Minnesota, like Rochester area, I want to say, because that's where he's from. So I go in the house, whatever, and something just like, I go upstairs right away. When I go upstairs, I just hear like creaking, like someone's like walking, like down the hallway.
This is an abandoned house?
Yeah, it's an abandoned house.
Really?
Yes. Mm-hmm. I hear creaking. And then, so I don't know, I just walk in like this room where I thought the creaking was. And then I just heard like whistling and like whispering. It was so weird.
Where were the bride and groom?
They were off, like, they're outside. There was nobody in the house. It was just me. Like, cause I went outside.
There was somebody
in
in the house if they were making the noises.
That's what I mean. I don't know who it was.
Did you go look?
So maybe it wasn't an abandoned house.
When I went outside and like I asked, like,
Jimmy, is that you?
Nobody was in the house. Clearly nobody's in the house.
Mason's got the high
Nobody left the house. I was the only person that walked in there. Like, it just really creeped me out.
There was a laundry machine running. The
I don't
kitchen
know.
table was
No.
set.
Like, after that, like, I ran out of there. Like, I was
You're by
so
yourself.
The tea on the counter was
freaked out.
what was whistling, I bet. You know,
The tea kettle?
Yeah, the tea kettle.
Oh, that scared me. Jeez. That car coming over. Like I said, we're out in the middle of nowhere.
I'm not discrediting your story, Mason.
No, like, yeah, I was like 8 or 9 at the time, and I swear no one was in the house with me.
Interesting. I don't know about that. Dalton?
Oh, I believe him 100%.
It's hard to remember
You believe
because I was
100%.
so young.
I know Mason
at
would
the
never
time.
lie.
Do you
100% true.
Do you remember it like it was just happened? Like you remember all the
Yes,
details? So it's
pretty
like one of
much.
those things,
Pretty much, yes.
Life-changing experience.
No,
No? Okay, it wasn't a life-changing.
Maybe
My
not.
bad. Well, I know we were talking a little bit before, Mason, and you said you do believe in the Chupacabra.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Let's first, why don't you tell me what the Chupacabra is? To you,
It's
at
like
least. Because
this
everyone, I
thing-
feel like, hold on, I feel like everybody for these things has their own definition. Everybody has a different, like, what Bigfoot looks like, what Chupacabra
I think I have a
looks
pretty
like.
good
That's a good
definition
point.
for it.
What's your definition?
So this Chupacabra, it's supposedly in the southwestern part of the United States, Arizona, New Mexico, that area. I think even Mexico,
Yep.
even. And it's like this mangy dog looking thing, almost looks like a hyena. And it's known for killing cattle, sheep, and just like terrorizing like the farmers and stuff.
Mm-hmm. I'd agree with that.
Anyways, the reason why I believe that it's true, because there was a video of like a police and like the dash cam. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
It's been a
Oh,
while
I
since
don't know
I've
if I
seen
have
it.
that exact video. I have a different video, but go on, explain.
There's like
what
the
that
one where
video
there's like a
is.
dash cam of like a police and it's like running down the road with the cop.
Oh, really?
And like it's like chasing something, yeah.
Jeez. I've never seen that.
And there was also like one that was killed by a farmer, right?
Yeah.
And then it's in a museum today.
I don't know if it's in a museum, but I have the video of the guy who killed the actual Chupacabra. If you want to pull that up,
I'm
Bill.
pretty sure it's in a museum, and like it's
It might be. I watched the video.
it's
I
like
don't remember
preserved
that, but
pretty well too, and it looks nothing like a dog or.
the video I saw looks like a dog without hair, but it's got like human hands. It's really
Yeah,
weird. I don't
it is
remember
really
exactly.
weird.
Is
Did you see
it
it on there?
Chupacabra spotted in Texas? Is that what you're thinking?
Let me look here.
Yeah, is it like a Mexico,
Yeah.
Texas?
This is
thing?
the one. Yeah,
But
Mexico,
it's unlike
Texas.
Bigfoot, where like this is like solid evidence. Like this is.
Look at this son of a gun. That's creepy looking. Yeah, let's play this video. Let's see what we're dealing with here.
Gray skin and a human-like fist adds up to a freakish find in Helotes.
Do you believe in the Chupacabra?
Absolutely.
That's a guy.
In Stockdale, Drake Gafford knows animals. But this roadkill?
I just throwed him in a tote sack and put
I
him
know
in the
horses are
pickup
real.
because it has red eyes, big old fangs hanging
Red
down there,
eyes.
Big old
claws coming
fangs.
out through 3 inches long, just sharp as they can be, and an opposable thumb on its back feet.
Thumb? Rewind back to the Helotes tip.
Opposable?
Check out the
Look at that. Look at that.
Get out.
critters begging the question, are these the vampire-like monsters with the worldwide following? Gafford is convinced.
Got a big
It's
dip in.
certified Chupacabra all the way. And that's good enough for me. It doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, with civilization encroaching on animals,
That's creepy. I don't know.
Civilization.
I mean, that's obviously real. It's on the news station. It's on a news
I
station.
would not say if it's on the news,
Hey.
it's real.
Mason's never heard of fake news in his life.
Well, it's in a museum preserved today. Like
I'll
you
stop
can
picking
go
on
and
that.
see it.
What it look like to you, Damon? What do you think about that?
It looked hairless.
Like a dog.
It looked slimy, like preborn something, but it wasn't.
I never thought.
I don't know.
about
It looked like a dog with big teeth.
Yeah.
And I think
Those are
Opposable
huge.
thumbs.
I think. Sorry to interrupt
No,
you.
you're okay.
They like dug into its like stomach or something. Like they looked at the insides of it, and there was like
Blood.
no like cattle and like
Well, I know that the rumor is that they eat cattle and they eat other animals.
Yeah, and
so
like
I'm
sheep,
not
and,
surprised.
They found that in its.
I thought they just drink blood.
System.
It could be.
It's not a vampire.
I mean,
Yeah,
it could
it
be
is.
mutated from something.
Right.
Like the guy was saying, it could be a real dog type thing, like how
It got into some radiated water.
yeah,
or
got
something.
into
Come on, this isn't Chernobyl.
Three-eyed fish.
Some creature crawling out of the ground with 3 arms or something.
That's what I'm waiting for tonight, because I know Ethan. I'm waiting for something to pop out of the water.
You think we're gonna prank you or
yeah,
something?
I'm ready to hit somebody.
You are carrying right now. You have a gun on you, don't you,
look
David?
down.
Well, I did a little bit of research on the Chupacabra, and like Mason said, same kind of deal as Bigfoot, but there's a lot more like photos and stuff. That's what makes me kind of go with Damon's statement on it, that it's probably some kind of dog that, or maybe a whole species of dogs that people don't really know about because there's not very many of them. I don't really know exactly,
I wouldn't say a whole species. I don't.
Well, it's kind of like the Bigfoot thing. Is there one? Is there multiple? Or
Right.
how many
well,
are there?
But at least with this, there's like solid evidence. You know
I've
what I
never
mean?
thought about it, and not to make it but like genetics when they mutate. I mean, like there's elephantitis, and the elephant. I mean, like you go to carnivals back in the day, and you'd have like a man that would just keep growing because his puberty gland or whatever just keep going. And I mean, the same could probably happen.
And there's
in
humans
animals.
that are like born with like more body parts
Yeah,
and stuff.
mutations can happen to anything and anyone.
So that's probably just what it is.
But what about the whole blood-sucking demon thing?
Good story.
You know what I mean? I mean,
mean-
it does make a good story. But it's just weird to me.
Someone probably just took the animal and wanted to like make it even more sound more like scary, so they added that it's a blood-sucking.
Yeah.
You know what I
Demon.
mean?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Isn't it one of its nicknames like the Mexican devil?
Yeah, Mexican
sure,
devil.
yeah.
I don't even know what does chupacabra mean. That's a Spanish
know.
word.
I mean, if
We
I
can't
had
look
some-
that up.
if I
I
had
can
some
look it up
Wi-Fi
on my
out here.
phone.
Well, when I was a kid, you know, you go out to Wall Drug and you're young, and I believed in
I've been there,
jackalopes.
yeah.
I was looking all over the field for
Yeah.
jackalopes, that rabbit with horns. I mean,
Let me
come
see
on.
what chupacabra means here. Chupa.
It might not even have like a translation. It could just be like that's what it is.
That's what it is.
Well, I mean, you'd think it'd be a chupacabra, Spanish pronunciation, literally goat sucker. From chuper to suck and cabra, goat, is a legendary creature in the folklore of parts of the Americas, with its first purported sightings reported in Puerto Rico. Oh, I didn't know that, actually. Interesting. And let's see here. It is Central and South America, North America, Southern United States. Wow, history. The first reported attack eventually attributed to the creatures occurred in March of 1995. So it's actually relatively new. 95, 8 sheep were discovered dead, each with 3 puncture wounds in the chest and completely drained of blood. That is weird, if that's true.
I'm pretty sure this video here actually kind of explains that conspiracy theory about like why it just kind of came up like recently in 1995.
Bring it up. Bring it up. We got a video here. This is a very interesting, there's a lot of history here. Look it up, people. Reputed, hold on, one thing here. Reputed Origin, a 5-year investigation by Benjamin Radford, documented in his 2011 book. What?
Better give the disclaimer.
I will
to
give the
some
disclaimer
viewers.
here. Let me finish this book. Tracing the Chupacabra concluded that the description given by the original eyewitness in Puerto Rico, Madeline Tolentino, was based on the creature Syl in the science fiction horror film Species.
She married to Bobby Tarantino?
Maybe she got this idea from a movie, and I think we talked about this.
Where'd
What are you
Kong
looking
go?
Bigfoot got him.
You had my back, and now he's gone.
He's coming back to prank you, Damon.
This kind of goes for what
Tour
Damon
time.
said in the. Hey, this kind of goes for what Damon said in the one podcast.
Which one was that, Ethan?
When we talked about aliens, you said, do movies influence stories, or do stories influence movies?
Yeah.
And
Big
that's kind of
time.
what this girl.
Big time.
This girl, did she get this idea in her head about from the movie, or did it actually happen?
I wouldn't
Who
say
knows?
that because they've actually found Chupacabra, so I don't think it's a made-up thing.
I don't know. All right, let's watch a
Add
video.
attitude, maybe.
But hold on, we got some viewers may find the material to be extremely graphic and disturbing.
So click
Viewer
off
discretion
if you don't want to.
is
Just like this whole podcast.
It turned up.
Lost tapes.
This is on Animal Planet.
Animal-killing, blood-sucking chupacabra.
See, that looks different.
Sometimes described as an alien-like creature,
Just like Mason.
resembling a griffin. Farm animals have been killed and drained of their blood by a mysterious creature. It looks more like something out of a horror movie. It was the work of the chupacabra. The chupacabra lives.
Is that a car that just
I
went
think
over?
that video just made me a believer right there.
Because they are similar in
I know.
appearance to gargoyles, one theory is the Chupacabra were native to medieval Europe and were brought to South America on Spanish galleons. In Puerto Rico, some believe the Chupacabra is the product of a genetic experiment by a secret U.S. agency. According to this theory, the creatures escaped when the government laboratory at El Yunque Mountain was damaged during a severe storm in the early 1990s. Most cryptozoologists believe the Chupacabra to be a close relative of the eye, a primate from Madagascar that resembles a raccoon. Others speculate that Chupacabra are alien creatures. On occasion, there have been UFO sightings at the same location as Chupacabra attacks.
Of course there was.
Oh, yeah. Those are crop circles, too.
Aliens,
I think that's the whole video right there. That's weird. I never knew about the alien/Chupacabra sightings. We're collaborating conspiracy theories here. Very interesting.
I feel like we could have a bear sighting tonight because there's bears roaming around.
Oh, we should talk about that.
You gotta look around.
Big news event around local Southwest Minnesota.
You got you, Dalton.
Hey.
Sorry, that's my stomach.
So for people that don't know, there's been a bear spotted around here. And that's actually not a conspiracy theory. That's a real thing. There's actually a bear and a cub around here.
It's confirmed by the Jackson Police, right?
County Sheriff's Department. Yeah, that there's a bear and a cub running around. If anybody finds it, we'd love to get a picture with it.
Bring him on down here, Smokey.
Bring him on down, Smokey, and we'll get him on the podcast.
You might come over and put a forest fire out.
I mean,
my brother works with someone whose husband took a video of it running alongside the road and then went into a grove, ran up a tree. I guess he parked the car and went and chased it.
Where's that at?
It hasn't gotten shot yet.
Yeah, where was that at?
Oh, I couldn't tell you where that one was at, but I remember watching the news, and I mean, they were south of town here, north of town, so they don't know. The mother cub and the other bear, I think, was south of town, and I think north of town they saw a male one.
It was by my place, out on 71 there, south.
Really?
It's not as
the
uncommon.
lake. It's just south of Fish Lake, right off 71
Is
there.
it Independence or something?
No, it's right by Independence. I can't. It's like
it's like that guy in Texas that's not that uncommon work because civilization's pushing chupacabras and bears up.
Yeah,
so
there you go.
That one.
Well, we have a game for you guys. Both of you can play because What the Fake. It's our famous game. This one is the famous creatures from each state. So we have 3 creatures, and one of the creatures is not real, but 2 of them.
Come on.
Really?
What?
We
The
guessing
first
the not
one?
real one?
Hey, turn it around, Dalt.
Are we guessing the not real one?
You guessed the not real one. So we have 3 creatures.
There's 2 that are real?
No, 2 are real, okay?
Oh, my.
All right, this is the first one here. The Idaho soaring night potato.
I've been to Idaho. I've not heard of that.
All right, so that's your first one.
How are these real, though?
Hey, listen, I never
it
said
could
this
be
one was
real.
real. I said there's 3 of them. One of them is fake. Okay.
Oh, so it's
And
just like real names, like actual.
No, one of these is a fake name. 2 of them are real.
Oh.
Can we wrap our head
around? Could you make
around?
up PowerPoint for us?
Oh, animal. I get it. All right, let's go to the next one. So remember, there's 50 states, 50 mythological creatures. I have 3 of them. One of them is fake.
Ethan, could you please can we ask a question on each one? Can
the
we
next
have a little
one?
brief description of what
I can't
Florida,
give you.
galloping.
I mean, this one sounds pretty cheesy.
All right.
I mean,
what about the Rocky Mountain Demon Wolf from Montana?
that sounds more real than the Idaho potato.
We're
Whatever.
gonna do a joint one here. That sounds
Rocky
more real.
Mountain Demon Wolf from Montana. Straight out of Montana.
Rocky Mountains are in Montana.
Yo.
There you go. That we didn't.
And there is potatoes in Idaho.
Whoever made this did the research.
Yep. And our third one, the Rhode Island giant panther. We got the Rhode Island giant.
That sounds like it.
Giant.
It's a tongue twister. The Rhode Island giant panther, the Idaho, what was it called? Soaring night potato, and the Rocky Mountain
Demon Wolf.
Ooh.
Hey, the first one's fake for sure.
First
I don't know.
The first one I feel is fake. I hope it's like a superhero though.
Just hearing that Idaho soaring night potato, just very intimidating to me.
Very intimidating.
You guys want the answer?
Man,
Yeah, we do.
Dun, 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 dun. The last one is fake.
Oh,
The
panther.
Rhode Island giant panther. I made that up. The Idaho soaring night potato is a real thing, and supposedly, I didn't read the whole thing because I couldn't believe it, but it was something like it lives in your fridge and it'll come out or something.
We're gonna do research on this. We might be right. He did
No.
read the whole thing. There's a Wikipedia page that someone made.
I'm gonna look it up now. I need the what was it called again? The Idaho soaring night potato.
I've been to Idaho. I've never seen that potato.
It's flying around.
I've
The
looked in
Idaho
the sky.
soaring.
Been to Montana. I don't know if I've been to Rhode
Shut up,
Island.
Tom.
I think
that's what it's
whoever
talking
like
about,
cited
though.
this must have been on some pretty
Some shrooms.
I figured
something.
there. I
shrooms
figure
or
like yeah.
acid or something like.
Yeah.
It was what
Carolina
was it?
Panthers are there. They might as well
50
go to Rhode Island.
states, 50 mythological creatures or something like that.
Right, so we didn't win.
The United States. Here it is right here. Yeah, you guys didn't win. I'm sorry, but let me read to you about this Idaho, and this is interesting. I have it all on here. The Idaho soaring night potato. Once upon a time, a lonely owl fell in love with a potato left behind in a field. While the owl carried it back to its nest to start a life together, it was struck by lightning bolt, and suddenly two became one. Half potato and half owl. The soaring night potato is an unusual creature, but it does not physically harm humans. Instead, it steals from them, usually by entering the home through an open window and helping itself to butter and sour cream in the refrigerator.
Okay, so it's real in the sense that Ethan didn't make it up.
Sometimes it goes for bacon and cheese.
I think.
Hey, but I can read to you the Minnesota one because every
It just
state
sounds so cheesy. Like,
every state has one. Minnesota Wendigo. If you're the sort of Minnesotan who would rather eat human flesh than lutefisk, then here is a stark warning. You'll turn into a Wendigo. A few downsides to that transformation include nobody spelling your name correctly, insatiable cravings for human flesh, and looking like a half-deer creature. Here's what it looks like.
Ethan, I think you got that down.
Wow.
I know. I think I'm a Wendigo.
But I think we have a new one that's more real than that one.
The Wilder Demon. What was the Wisconsin one? Let me see what Wisconsin has on here.
Hodag should have been it from Rhinelander.
See. Florida.
It's a big lizard
Here's the
with
skunk ape from Florida. Delaware has the Shelbyville swamp monster.
Shelbyville tiger.
We got the melon heads in Connecticut.
The melon heads.
The melon heads. I'm trying to find
what's
Wisconsin.
Alaska. I'm almost curious, like what Alaska
Hold
is,
on.
because it's just so vast up there.
You're right. The Hodags. Is that what you said? Hodags?
Hodag, I think, or
Hodaga. Yeah, were once plentiful in Wisconsin, but the terrifying creature is rumored to have gone extinct after
There's
its
a
main
huge
food
statue
source.
on the highway that you stop and take your
So what does it
picture
look
by.
like?
Really?
Is it like
It's like a big green lizard with teeth and red eyes.
Hey,
And
West Virginia is the Mothman, not Pennsylvania. What state were you wondering? Alaska?
Alaska.
That's like one of the first ones on here. Let me
I feel like
see.
that's like a Yeti or something.
Otterman. The Otterman is a shape-shifting were-otter, half man, half otter, who enjoys drowning sailors. Creepy.
If I learned anything, it's that we all have like not state birds, state flowers. We all have a state mythological
Yeah,
monster.
you got California lizard people.
Is there any like Bigfoots on there? Like
Bigfoot is in I think
Washington,
it
I
was
bet.
Texas. I think it was Texas. Let me look.
Really?
Let me check. The Chupacabra was actually Texas was the Chupacabra. Where was the Bigfoot?
Washington, I bet.
Washington, you're
That'd be a
thinking?
good one.
That's where like most of like the sightings
Bigfoot, you're
are.
right. Washington.
See, I told
yes.
you. Yep.
The Evergreen State was recently named the #1 U.S.
Yep.
state for Bigfoot to live. Wow, it's like
I remember hearing that.
#1 city to live in. You got the #1 state for Bigfoot to live.
It's the #1 state to live in?
No, for Bigfoot.
Well, he is part human.
It's a beautiful evening out here.
It's what?
It's a beautiful evening out here.
It's
Do more.
creepy.
Yeah, it is.
Hey,
kinda
everyone
creepy.
just don't talk for a second. Let's get the viewers a little bit of a taste of what we're listening to.
Call it.
Hey, I think he left. I don't know.
I think it was
Maybe-
definitely like tour time.
Hey, I
tour
think
time
I
called.
think Bigfoot got him.
I mean, we might have to search for him.
I don't know. Do you guys hear any Bigfoots out there? Well, speaking of Bigfoot, while we're on that topic again, we got another video for Bigfoot doll. I want to show you guys the family, the granddad, the daughter, and the granddaughter who've all seen Bigfoot. And there's some funny. I think this is a pretty funny video. I think
Are
you
they
guys
like a
will
bunch
like
of hillbillies or
yeah,
something?
it's like a hillbilly.
Oh.
I saw Bigfoot when we were sliding down the slide.
It's very offensive.
Yeah.
All right, watch this video. Finding Bigfoot.
Beautiful property you guys have back here.
Thank
you. So we have 3 generations of the same family in front of us here.
Mr. Science.
Ernie, my daughter Linda, my granddaughter Lakota.
And all of you have experienced Sasquatch activity at one time or another?
Well, even together.
Oh, really?
Wow. And how long's your family been on this piece of property?
Back to the 1700s.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man.
Late 17s.
And how far back did the Bigfoot activity go?
We've heard tales of it from our great.
Hold on. Why are they talking to him like he's 4?
Yeah.
Now, how long back did the Bigfoot activity go, Grandpa?
Hey, they pay these guys too. You know it, right?
Hey, look at this guy, the minor 49er. Yeah. Hang on a second. Let me keep it playing. You got the brightness turned all the way up. Oh my!
Jeez, what are you doing?
You're wasting my battery.
They would tell us to be careful and not get too far out, or don't get in the woods playing.
We knew the rules. We had our boundaries. Do not get out of sight or earshot.
How about you, Lakota? Have you ever seen one?
Yeah,
Where did you see one?
up there.
It's real.
What happened?
Sure did.
We got a recreation.
I was playing soccer with my friends. When the ball rolled down the road, that's when I noticed it was looking at us.
She looks you blink in the eyes, man.
It was up on the hill. It was standing there watching.
Okay. It came down. Did it sit down? Or was it standing up?
Hey, they definitely don't know what's going on. It was sitting up on the hill. Sitting up on the hill.
Okay.
Hey, no, listen to this. She keeps going with it. They ask her, what was it doing? Was it sitting or standing? Just listen to this. Hey, can you handle it, Twiddledink? Calm down.
Standing up.
And what color was it?
Blackish brown. I came outside and she was like, there's something up there watching us. I saw it standing up on the hill. That day, I saw Bigfoot.
So you and the friends were sitting there playing and talking about it, and you all knew it was there? Did you all know it was a Bigfoot?
No. We didn't know what it was. We just thought it was a hairy man standing.
It was Granddad.
Great-granddad.
He scares the kids every day.
Yeah.
You guys are weird kids.
Hold on, did he just say?
Good job.
Hey, you guys are weird kids. You're the weirdos going around.
That just reminded me of a movie. You know, you pull Netflix, you're finding weird movies, and there's a B, C movie, and this guy gets drunk and puts a big suit on. He's like mad he broke up with his girlfriend or something. And he walks around drunk wearing it. And everyone thinks there's a Bigfoot in town, and then he realizes he was that Bigfoot. So he keeps doing it. It's like a movie.
I will say something. I'm pretty sure like this show, like the cast, like the four people. I think two of them like are skeptical
Skeptical.
about Bigfoot.
And that guy right there never did drugs.
You guys are weird.
I'm sorry. He's probably a great gentleman, I'd just say. But he's the guy they use as, like, when we're saying how big it is, since he's a big guy, they're like, you go stand out in the woods.
Yeah, he like puts his arms around.
You know what they're growing out there, Ethan, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Anyone who's ever watched the show goes, make sure you stop right there, because that's as high as it can be.
Yeah.
All right, let's finish this video. Great video.
Those kids would have freaked out.
I tried to basically teach them not to be afraid. As long as it don't mess with you, don't mess with it, you know. I mean, that's my thing.
Do you think they've ever come around the houses?
Oh, yes. There was one that was looking in my oldest daughter's bedroom window.
Was it Granddad?
It's still Granddad.
I don't think that was a Bigfoot. I mean,
Creeping in on
Uncle.
got a funny uncle or a weird neighbor, one or the other.
Everything's Bigfoot around here. Hey, Granddad and the uncle.
I saw shit eyes looking through my
It
window.
was definitely Bigfoot.
Big hairy man picks me up for school in the
Knocking.
morning.
Not really like he was knocking, like he was kind of pushing his way around. But my mom saw the figure in the window.
Now, Ernie, you've lived on this property for almost 6 decades. What's the earliest encounter you can remember having with one of these things?
Listen.
40 years ago, 38 years ago.
Jeez.
There was something beside the road holding a deer. Just blood all everywhere. And I pulled up close to it, and I thought it was my beer gone bad on there.
Oh, no! I was actually drunk. Great way to end the story.
Whoa, it's coming back. Hey, I thought it was my beer gone bad on me. Hey, I don't know what happened out there in these guys out in the middle of the woods, but
Wow.
I don't know. It makes me wonder. I kind of want to, I don't know. I don't want to be cynical, but a lot of this stuff, we got a spider crawling all over the audio equipment. I don't want to be cynical, but I feel like a lot of the TV shows are like scripted and fake. You know what I mean?
They obviously pay those people.
I mean,
they make money, and so you got to say stuff that you normally wouldn't, just so you can make the money.
Yeah.
And I bet we all, if anybody was in that situation,
Oh yeah, for sure.
you know,
anybody would
tell the story, but exaggerate a lot. You know, and
we
then
should do a real one with the Wilder one and just do a
we
TV
should. Finding Wilder demons.
See how realistic we can make an episode like this.
Oh, you
we
definitely
could
have
really
to go fake.
exaggerate it like a lot.
Wow, now all the viewers will know.
Yeah.
Hey, I think we should work on that. That'd definitely be something
Well,
fun.
we'll do a real one. We won't do any exaggeration.
No exaggeration. Yeah. We'll actually do whatever we can to find the thing. I like that.
That'd be really cool.
That would be cool, because who knows? Maybe we come away and we interview a bunch of people and we might find something. What do you think, Dalton?
I don't know. I'm kind of confused why you always ask me what I think, but nobody else.
Well, you're kind of quiet here. I didn't want you to turn into a Thailand.
Yeah, well, you know, producer over here.
He's working on the computer, the audio board. I know you got multiple jobs.
Just like to listen before I speak, you know.
Oh, well, we haven't heard your opinion on Chupacabra yet. What do you think?
Chupacabra, I guess. Well, basically all I know about him is that it, like, I knew that I was like the Mexican devil and that it like drinks goat's blood, but we basically went over that before. Got around to my parts. So.
Real or fake?
I think I'm gonna go with fake on that one.
Really?
Really?
Even when there's like a preserved one in the museum, like you think someone just like put it in there as a hoax?
I'm gonna go half real, half fake. Maybe a rabbit.
Really?
rabbit
I'm gonna go with
like
Damon's theory. It's a dog, but it's some kind of weird
Rabbit mutant.
This is what I
mutation
think.
of a dog.
I believe it's real. I just think that people exaggerated it to be like something way worse than what it really is.
I would disagree with that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
For
like
sure.
any conspiracy. People over exaggerate.
Oh, yeah.
You know, when they can't see
The
something.
media gets hold of it. They'll say it. Sucks the blood out of.
And for another local story,
yeah.
Jackson Altman's a great friend of mine told me that we used to be friends before he moved. If Jackson, if you're listening, got to get back here and we can go out and explore a little bit. But so he told me the story one time out at Pat's Grove, and I know that you've been out there multiple times, Damon.
Yeah.
And that's kind of you've taken photos and stuff out there.
Photos out there.
Maybe
hung out
you've
there
had some
back in the
experiences
past.
too, but Jackson went out there and yelled something at the house or something. He yelled, like an expletive.
The house
like
that's
a
like
swear
torn
word.
down, kind of.
No, it's not torn.
The mill?
The,
It's still
the
there.
mill, the creepy house. He yelled something like "F you, witch" or whatever, something like that. He's driving down the road to leave, out to like the main gate. His truck dies while he's driving. Oh, we just
Just like
lost our
that light died.
Oh,
That's kind of creepy.
We are being haunted right now.
Yeah.
By the wild.
Now the bugs are gonna come.
Right when you said that, it turned off.
That's creepy. Hey, I don't know what's going on around here, but to finish the story, the truck died after he yelled that, like he swore at the house or whatever. Truck died, and I don't know what they did. They had to call somebody to come tow him back or whatever. But that just kind of shows: is it something just happens by accident, or is there actually some
coincidence.
negative energy out
Right.
at Pat's Grove? And I know there's been some very creepy. I know suicides have been committed out there, and there was maybe even like a hanging in the mill or whatever.
I know people go out there and dump a lot of. There was someone who was poaching deer and throwing
Oh,
deer
yeah.
carcasses
Oh,
out
yeah.
there.
Too.
And when
Some
I was
weird
out
stuff.
exploring out there, I found an old car with a license plate from the 60s.
No
Really?
way. There's a car
Wow.
out there?
Yeah, there's a car. If it's still there when you
Really?
go. Yeah, once
That's
they-
really
Because
cool.
we've never seen that out there.
No,
We've
I've
been out
never
there
seen
quite
the
a
car.
bit,
Where,
so-
where's that at?
I have
Is
the
it back-
license plate.
No
but-
way.
From the 60s, like you can.
I think it's
Really?
64 or something.
Where was it? Is it way in the back or is it?
When you go when you come in, it was way off to the left off the road.
I never
way
seen
back
that.
there.
Wow.
Yeah, like the trunk of it at least and stuff.
Wow. Well, we've had a good discussion tonight, and I feel like this could be something we could definitely do a part 2 of.
And a lot of bones out there too.
Oh, that's creepy.
Part 2, I like
Part 2, and I think part 2 will pick a different wilderness location, and we'll kind of take the podcast out to another.
Wilder.
Pat's Grove.
Maybe we'll
Pat's
take
Grove.
it out. Pat's Grove, Wilder. We could really go anywhere now that we have that generator. Thank you to Mason for the generator. Thanks to all the sponsors for sponsoring the show. Thank you to Dalton for taking a role as a host here on.
I hope
the
I did
show.
okay.
Taking a role as
You're
like
awesome.
not talking.
I know I couldn't live up to your expectations for Thailand, but
Oh yeah, huge expectations.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you coming on though, and Mason and Damon. Thank you guys for both
Oh, yeah.
coming
Thank
on.
you, Ethan.
And
Thank
it's
you.
been fun talking to you guys, and I know we can get a part 2 of this.
I've
one
been
because-
wanting to get back on here.
Yeah,
for a
we'll
while.
get you back on for
All
sure.
right.
And I know Damon is going to be on multiple times. We can really get Damon on for any topic
Thank you,
because
yeah.
he's got a little bit of everything to
Little
say,
everything, yeah.
which is perfect. Exactly what we're looking for. Everyone else watching, thank you so much for tuning in. It has been a great episode. And remember to retweet, share, subscribe, like, comment, pretty much anything to get the podcast out there because, like I said, we're just trying to tell stories and get people involved and just open up a free dialogue here without anybody insulting anybody or anyone making fun of anybody.
Yeah.
So come on here and we can talk
yeah.
about really anything. If you haven't
Oh, yeah.
noticed, we've had a variety of topics. So thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next week. Peace out.
We're gonna go find Colin.
Yeah, we better go find Colin.